My wife and I were discussing how we would go ahead and travel over to South Carolina, whether we would fly or drive. We finally decided that we would go ahead and rent a van because we were making the trip down there to watch our daughter graduate. The trip was going to be a 22-hour drive. We needed to be there by Tuesday night, so we agreed that both my wife and I would trade off. I went ahead and started driving. We were passing through all the state lines. It's about 4 or 5 in the morning. The sunrise was coming up, and my wife was sleeping. The drive through Tennessee is beautiful. There's a lot of hills and the road winds in and out. And close to state line, you follow a path that goes back and forth because you have to travel through the mountains. I was driving and it was such a long drive and it was a little monotonous. And we arrived Tuesday, and with my daughter's help, we went ahead and packed for Wednesday night. I was so relieved that the graduation was on Wednesday night and it wasn't on Tuesday. We hurried up and had a little bit of a panic for nothing. We drove into Charleston and we saw a bunch of homes in a row. There was also a store there. We saw a really big plantation home as well. I thought to myself, oh wow, America, to live in America now is much easier than it would have been years ago. Back then they had auctions in different ways that you would buy things. They didn't have the common stores like we have now. It was really interesting for me to see. We went ahead and made our way into Bonneville. When we were there, we saw this beautiful area, this house. And I was really curious to see, well, why don't we go ahead and travel over there? I thought to myself, and we can enjoy looking at this house. There were 10 homes near it in a row. I was really curious. Had an interpreter explain to me as we were on this tour. None of the homes in the area had air conditioning. And that meant it would be super hot, especially when someone was cooking. The people who lived in these homes that were next to each other had great skill in the kitchen and in homemaking. Their other skills weren't as developed, but these people had really developed cooking and sewing skills. I understand that the culture is really different, and I do understand that now, and it's special, and the love for the food they have there, and to be able to taste all of that whole, that was amazing. I was really excited that we went.